up, beautiful souls? Your boy Loon is back with another subreddit video, and today we are back on r/AmITheDevil. It's been 2 weeks since we've been on the subreddit, so I'm excited to dive back in and see what's popping. If you guys didn't know, the subreddit is full of posts where OP, for once, is the devil, is the villain. So it's always fun reading these crazy situations that we get in. Also, a quick little update. We are almost at 12,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel and you guys enjoy this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you guys get notified. Tomorrow we are going live. I believe we're gonna do it 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, I don't know what time it is on your time zone, but pretty early. But we're just gonna do an hour episode of r/Made Me Smile, which is gonna be fun because it is gonna be a wholesome episode. And if you guys want to be always up to date on my live streams, make sure you guys follow the Discord. It's gonna be the link in the description box. And with that being said, let's get into Am I the Devil for today. Also, happy 4th of July, or delayed 4th of July. This is gonna release on the 5th. 4th of July for all the American folks watching this. I say it's released on the 5th. I'm literally filming this on the 5th. All right, so first one up here, we have the best post. Someone think of the children, okay? We're on r/relationship advice for the original post. And we got my 34 male wife. Okay, so OP is 34, his wife is 34, wants me, so my wife wants me to turn down a good job because she doesn't like who I work for. How can I get her to understand that I have to do what's best for the family? Okay, this is an interesting one. So almost 2 years ago, I had an affair with my coworker. Oh, brother. This is what a start. I think it was a mixture of depression and stress that caused it. Could be a reason, not a good excuse though. I'm better now, and I can say that we both deeply regretted what happened. I ended up getting a different job, and my wife and I worked things out. She still struggles with trusting me, but has gotten better. Fast forward almost 2 years, my former coworker messages me out of the blue about career opportunities. Trying not to get too specific, but she got a really important job and has her own staff, and she asked me to be her chief of staff. The salary would be fantastic, and we got coffee and caught up, and I'm probably going to take it. Brother, how do you not understand what you're doing wrong? Like, at this point, I don't even have to read this last paragraph. We're gonna read it, but dude, you have a wife that you just cheated on. She luckily 2 years ago, and you want to work for the woman you cheated on her with. You're lucky enough that she even is okay with you anymore after this incident, let alone working with. Come on, dude. This is a no-brainer. Are you really this stupid? So he continues and says, I told my wife and she said absolutely not. I wonder why. In normal circumstances, I would understand, but we have a 5-year-old and the salary is just great. What does the 5-year-old have to do? What? Way to throw your kid under the bus for this. I'm the type of guy that puts my child first, and this would allow us to put a lot of in his college funds and trust fund in general. But she said, absolutely not. Well, buddy, hey, no one's stopping you from taking this job, but you're going to not have a wife. If you're okay with that, to each their own, buddy, but you're not going to have a wife. What do you mean? You can't have, eat your cake and eat another one too, okay? Just pick one. Pick one cake. I reassured her that my former coworker, soon-to-be boss, is disgusted by her past actions, as am I. Don't matter, bro. It's a respect thing. And this is professional, and she knows that I'm capable. I just want my wife to understand that we got to think about our son right now. What does your son have to do with this? How about this, buddy? She is thinking about her son. She's thinking about how her son has a dad who's willing to work for a woman that he used to cheat on his mom with. How about that? Maybe she's thinking about that. What the hell, man? Come on, dude. Is this guy like a big old dummy or what? Like what? It was a mix of depression and stress that caused the affair. This is not somebody who has taken any kind of accountability for his cheating. Yeah, he's blaming it on depression and stress. And even if he is convinced that not to take the job now, just the fact that he's seriously considering it means that his wife should be out the door. I agree. The wife deserves better, and then he can go have that job and do whatever. This one says, holy S, I can smell the misogyny. Oh, brother, what a start. All right, r/is that bad is the original post. And the original post title says, modern women hate men. Looks like we never really escaped the incel.is culture here, huh? All right, let's see what this guy says. What we're dealing with today aren't modern women. They're modern monsters. That is hilarious. That is iconic. Okay, well, let's hear them out. Women who reject femininity, reject accountability, and reject the very things that make relationships work. Who dictates femininity? Isn't that from the male gaze in perspective of this guy? Because what you deem as feminine might be different than what someone else deems as feminine, right? Or am I wrong? I mean, don't get me wrong. There are traditional feminine roles through society, but it's all dictated by society. And society genuinely meant. All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting on a tangent already. I could see the accountability for some women, but like that's with any human being. There's a bunch of men who reject accountability too. We just read a post about this. All right. They want all the benefits of traditional men, but none of the responsibilities of a traditional woman. They demand high-value men while bringing nothing but attitude, entitlement, and unrealistic expectations to the table. They shame women who actually want to be wives, calling them pick-me's, while all at the same time crying about how they can't find a man. Okay, this right here shows me that he's on just social media, because the women that he's talking about seems like the girls that you see on like those red pill podcasts and all that stuff. And that is the bad side of social media. They just perpetuate whatever gets the most eyes, gets the most clicks, gets the most, hate, things like that, to boost the algorithm. So a lot of times these guys are seeing these women who have these takes of like, oh, a guy needs to blah, 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 and I don't need to provide anything back. Okay, look, at the end of the day, there are girls like that. I'm not denying this guy. Sorry, there's a gnat in here. I'm not denying that by any means. But at the same time, that is not the majority of women. Like, that's just people you see on social media. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have met some women like this. And you know what I usually do? I just don't talk to them again because they're not my type. Sora, you want to be in the video? You keep me on. I think Sora's mad about this post too. Never mind, he don't want to be in it. But yeah, so like, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely women like that out there that is like this, but this is not the majority. Just go touch some grass, you'll meet some people. All right, so continuing, they say they treat relationships like transactions, dating for only status and money, but when men date for youth and beauty, suddenly it's a problem. No, both can be a problem. I think that women who date for transactional purposes like status and money is a problem. I agree with him there. I don't think that's the majority of women. I do think that it's the majority of women that we see online. I will agree with that. And I think both can be a problem. Beauty, no. No. Let me rescind that. It's okay to date for beauty, but you have to also date for other things. And for women, it's okay to date for status and money, but you also have to date for other things, in my opinion. If you only date for youth and beauty, that's when it's weird. If you only date for status and money, that's when it's weird. To each their own, though. I mean, at the end of the day, you can have whatever preference you want. At the same time, I'm not going to not think that it's weird, though. Sora wanted to be in. They push men away with their masculine energy, then blame men for not stepping up. They say that you don't need a man, then get on TikTok sobbing about how lonely they are. Yeah, this guy's definitely talking about social media girls. These aren't just modern women. See, just if you change this instead of modern women just to social media, then it would make a lot more sense. These are modern monsters, and men are checking out. Who says that? Are you talking for all men? Because I'm not going to check out. Because why would we commit to women who see them as disposable? I agree with that. 100%. You shouldn't commit to those women. Why build a life with someone who thinks respect is optional? I can agree with that as well. Why invest time, energy, and money into a relationship when the second she's not happy, she's already planning her exit? The reality is setting in. Men are waking up, and these modern monsters, they're running out of victims. Okay, so like, look, at the end of the day, some of the stuff he said is true, but it's just targeted towards the wrong group. It's not modern women. Modern women are not like this. This is just specifically towards those Instagram, like, women that are just chasing status and money, which I think it's a very small minority. I think to these guys, they think it's just this huge majority. When you just go out and touch some grass, bro, and meet some people, it ain't like that. I'm certainly glad they're checking out. Please even go even further away. Do your thing. Check out and stop whining about it. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Also, if you're online whining about stuff like this, come on, buddy. All right, this one says, abandons unaliving wife with cancer. Dude, we read something similar to this. And it's different. It's not the same story. I know it's not the same story because this one's about colon cancer. Interesting. What the hell is wrong with people? This is also on Am I the Devil? I think it was on the first or second episode ever. Okay, so this one says, r/am I the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for refusing to allow the hospital to discharge my wife to me? What? My wife now has stage 4 colon cancer for the past year and a half. I've had to work and then come home and do the majority of the household chores, and I was also treated as the nurse. Oh, it's so hard to do chores. Wow. We have 2 sons, 18 and 16. Oh, you're a grown-ass man complaining about household chores, and you got kids that can help you. All right, we have 2 sons, 18 and 16, and my daughter that's 15 that help out, but it became expected of me to be their go-to parent on everything. Well, you are their parent, no? Have you, what? A year ago, my wife pretty much stopped being able to do anything for herself. Like, gee, I wonder why. It almost sounds like as if she has an illness that would prevent her from doing anything. She's exceptionally rude to me and pretty much screams and cries hysterically all the time, and sometimes mutters on about people who haven't been in our lives for some time. Okay, so the rude thing, yeah, that's not a good thing, but still, I mean, you got to be some empathetic, dude. She's going through a lot more than you. She also blames me for not being kind to her when I am putting my entire life on hold when I'm at home. And I felt like I didn't even have an identity anymore. Over the summer, I have talked to doctors, and they told me that there was a lot of red tape regarding getting my wife into a nursing home. I talked with my dad, who is 74, and he told me that from his understanding, hospitals, if you didn't pick up a patient after discharge, 3 days later, the hospital social worker would have to place them into a special nursing facility. Last week, my wife had to be rushed into an emergency room. For the week, I didn't have to be her nurse for that week. I realized how much of a strain taking care of a barely lucid and angry when she was lucid woman has become to me. I realized that this is so messed up. I realized that I was basically being mom and dad around the house, and I was so tired of doing this every single day and then waking up at 6 to go to work. And this is why I respect like single mothers and single fathers so much, you know, because it is a lot. It's a lot. I can agree with him in that. When I found out that my wife was set to be discharged, I ended up making up my mind. When the hospital called to say that they were going to discharge my wife and I needed to be there to receive her, I told them that I did not want to take care of her anymore. Your wife? You told the hospital that you didn't want to take care of your wife anymore? What the hell? Dude, this guy is evil. Oh my God. The hospital continuously called me back, and the person on the other line would beseech me to bring my wife home. However, I stood my ground and said that my wife needed to go to a professional nursing facility and said that the hospital social workers need to figure that out. Am I the a-hole for finally realizing I had reached my limits? My daughter in particular is very upset that her mother is not coming home. My sons scream at me that they would take care of my mother 24/7 if they had to. Yeah, because they're good sons. They're more manly than you are, buddy. However, I knew that the hospital social worker would do his/her job competently and help my wife into a facility. What? I don't want to be a mom and dad anymore. Well, congrats, dude. You're now mom and dad 24/7 and no one will help you. Yeah, because she could be gone. He will remarry as soon as he can. Yeah, this guy sounds like a puss. Wow. That's crazy. What is this one? This one sounds interesting. Her baby isn't exactly photogenic. Dude, this one sounds funny. It says her baby isn't exactly photogenic. Am I the a-hole? AITA for telling my friend she can't bring her baby to my brunch. Oh no. Is it because of the photo? Oh, that's messed up. So I, 25 female, am planning a cute aesthetic birthday brunch with my friends. It's a whole vibe, rooftop restaurant, coordinated outfits, Polaroids, etc. I worked hard planning it, and I really want it to feel mature and cute. Oh, you want it to feel mature and cute. One of my close friends, who's 26, had a baby 4 months ago, and she's been bringing him literally everywhere. I wonder. It's almost like she's a mother. Oh, gee. Girls' night, so she would bring the baby to girls' night, coffee runs, even a spa day once. It's kind of annoying because everything ends up revolving around the baby and she's always breastfeeding or stepping away to change him. Okay, there's two ways to solve a situation like this. You communicate with her. She doesn't come to these girls' nights and stuff until she's ready, or you just be an actually good friend that understands that she has a whole ass baby. I don't know if you know this, but babies require stuff and attention. I told her for this brunch, it's adults only, so no kids. I was polite but firm. She seemed okay with that at first, but then she asked again, like a week later, if she could just bring the baby and keep him in a stroller by the table. I said no again, and admittedly was kind of jokingly I said no again and admitted kind of jokingly that her baby isn't exactly photogenic. Okay, that's fucked up. It's one thing to not want like a baby around. I completely understand that. Look. Hey, I get it. If you don't want babies around the vibe, that's totally fine. But you can't expect the mom to not show up. To show up without the baby, because you do have to understand that a mother has to be there for their kids. So that part I understand. Like, hey, skip out on this just because, hey, the squad wants to just do, adults. I feel like they would understand. That's fine. But telling someone's baby isn't photogenic is messed up, bro. What baby is photogenic at 4 months? There's a couple photogenic babies. Was I a photogenic baby? No. So she told her that her baby isn't exactly photogenic and didn't want a bunch of crying or messy baby pics in the group photos I'm posting. What the hell? Like, that's so fucking... This is so mean. Now she's pissed, saying I called her baby ugly, which you did. Which I kind of did, but like, babies can be ugly. Like, it's not personal. And that I'm prioritizing aesthetics over friendship. Some of the girls in the group are taking her side now and calling me shallow and heartless. But I'm not saying that she can't come at all. I just don't want the baby there. It's my birthday. What the fuck? What did we just read, bro? What? And I really want it to be mature, feel mature and cute. OOP trying so hard to play dress up and pretend to be a growing up while acting like an utter childish fool. That is so facts. Oh my god. What the hell, OOP? All right, this one says, well, no shocker here. Oh no, is this post taken down? Yeah, never mind, we can't read this. All right, this one says, how was the friend supposed to know? This is on r/wedding drama. Ooh. Friend wants to schedule her wedding 2 days after mine. Oh my God. I had friends that actually had issues with their friends about this kind of thing, although it was a week or two apart. I'm very much a type A person, but also I have anxiety. So I like to get things done early. So I'm a very much type A person, but I also have anxiety. So I like to get things done early. I also wanted a specific venue that has sentimental meaning to me and a specific date, our anniversary. Plus, we needed a while to save money. So while we are not engaged yet, we already booked the venue and are in talks with photographers for September 2026. But because we're not officially engaged, I don't want to talk about my wedding publicly other than to my close family and friends. That's kind of weird, right? Like, you planning wedding stuff and you're not even engaged yet? That's strange to me. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird? About a week ago, I attended a friend's wedding and we were sitting besides our other friends who in context have been together pretty seamlessly for 6+ years. She's been talking about marriage for at least 3 years, and it seems that he only began looking at rings a month ago. Halfway through dinner, they started discussing what they would like to do at their own wedding. At which point I asked if they had already gotten engaged. She actually got she actually got a little mad at me for that, but I think it's perfectly normal to think that when they're publicly discussing their wedding. I genuinely thought I had missed something. We don't see each other too often. Anyways, that was all fine and good until they got on the topic of the wedding date. This was on the first day of summer. And to my horror, she starts talking about how much she would love to get married on the first day of autumn, aka my exact date. I joked to the boyfriend to propose as soon as possible, but the next day, joked to my boyfriend. But the next day, I realized no matter how I proceeded, it looked like I was copying or stealing her idea and just being a crappy friend. So I texted her explaining the situation. She congratulated us, but then said it was all right. Because the first day of fall is on Tuesday, the 22nd. My venue is booked Sunday, the 20th. I was completely taken aback. I just feel like it truly take away from my thunder on my wedding day. I mean, this is a weird situation because both people already just booked their stuff. So, I mean, what can you do? Not to mention that we're probably going to be on our honeymoon then. But also, isn't it just a little bit strange to schedule a wedding 2 days after someone else? What? She didn't know when you were scheduled. She didn't know when you were scheduled originally. Is that just me? I just don't know what to do, to be honest. It's not like they have started any of their planning at all. Oh, is that true? Update, just to clarify things. One, while I don't see my friends often, that doesn't mean that we aren't good friends. We're just too busy working adults full time on top of working on our post-grad. I never had any doubt that I was going to be invited to her wedding, which is why I let her know way in advance, because I wanted to be a good friend and not make her think that I was trying to upstage her or something. I'm only slightly miffed because 2 days is very little time between two weddings, especially when a lot of our friendships overlap. I do not see a problem with her planning before her engagement when she knows it's coming. It's actually pretty normal. I just think it's odd to talk about it publicly and then get mad when people ask if they're engaged yet, which is why I don't do it. Technically, my boyfriend did propose to me a few weeks ago. Oh, God. But it was a ring I truly hated, so we're redoing it. Oh, that's the worst. That is terrible. But because I don't have a ring, I'm not publicly announcing anything yet. Final update. The response to this post has been a little baffling, as most of you guys seem to think I'm an insane bridezilla ready to attack. Anyways, after reading through the comments, I decided it's not really a big deal and that my friend is just understandably more concerned with her own wedding than mine, and that's okay. Exactly. And we'll not be looking at this again. Cheers. Jesus, what? I have news for the OOP. If you booked a venue, you are already engaged, regardless of whether you or not fancy or have a fancy ring. Yeah, that's so weird. The ring thing is weird, man. Why the fuck do you want to redo it just because of that? That's so stupid to me. He proposed, but with the wrong ring. Eye roll. So she doesn't think it counts because nothing is real unless you have an impressive enough jewelry. That poor guy. Yeah, dude, I feel bad for the dude who's gonna have to marry this woman. All right, let's read one more quick one before I gotta go. All right, this one says I wanted to punish her. What the hell? Am I the a-hole to refuse to help my wife bathe our son when she said she's tired today? What? Yes. What the hell? Where I live, there's a hot summer right now. So we put our son under the shower almost every single day after kindergarten time. Usually my wife is responsible for this. I just help get him undressed and fill the fill the bath with water and toys. But she does the actual washing. Yesterday, my wife told me that she's tired and has back pain and wanted me to help shower him this day. I was just coming from work and I was exhausted. Well, buddy, your wife just said she was exhausted too. I will also have to do the dinner dishes at night when they are sleeping, so my day is not easier anyhow. Ooh, dishes and washing your son. As my wife always complains about being tired and not able to do things, it's almost like she is a mother. Asking for help, etc. I told her that I'm not also going into the house, to do the house chores at night, as I am also tired. She got angry and told me that I don't care about her emotions or her physical strength and that she doesn't ask me for this every day. I still also persisted to not help. Oh, I also still insisted to not help. That's crazy. How do you not realize you're an asshole, dude? What? My goal was to let her know that each one in the house has something to do, and if everyone says I'm tired, then nothing gets accomplished. I wanted to punish her. Okay, although that's true, this next part is wild. I wanted to punish her for stating very often that she's tired and has no energy to do anything, although I know she has energy to spend hours on Facebook and talk to her friends over the phone. Completely different things, buddy. I don't want things to escalate. Good luck with that. I just wanted her to have discipline and do what she has to do. Am I the a-hole? Yes. What the hell? What are you even talking about? Oh my God, what a shitty ass husband. Anyways, I gotta go back to work. I'm actually on break right now. I'm filming this for you guys. Yeah, we're gonna close this up. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We're almost at 12,000 subscribers. It's insane. You guys wanna catch me on a live? Tomorrow we're going live in the morning. Yeah, nothing else to say. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, wonderful weekend. I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you wanna be in the Discord, also the link in the description box. All right, bye guys.